Okay, with this video, we're going to be installing a attic fan, which is great for keeping the house a little bit cooler, cools off the attic, and the whole house is going to be a little bit cooler. So you're going to save money on your energy bill and keep the whole house a little bit cooler. Okay, let's start off with some of the tools that I'll be using up in the attic. It's a basic set of electrical tools. A lot of people ask me, what do I have in my pouch? And so I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of what I usually stock in my pouch, and that's what we need up in the attic. Okay, you're also going to need some safety equipment to protect your eyes, to be from inhaling dust, fiberglass insulation, knee protection, flashlights, of course, all those kinds of things to keep you safe and keep you working in the attic. Okay, if you've got one of these, they're really, really handy for putting some of your staples in, your hammer and different things so that you do not lose them in the insulation. That's really easy to do up there. Okay, a couple of things I want to point out here that's really important. First of all, if you're going to be working in the attic, you want to go in there as early as possible in the day so you don't get overheated, because that can happen real easy up in an attic. And you want to make sure that you're walking or standing on trusses or ceiling joists so that you are not standing or walking on sheetrock. If you can't see wood, there's a chance you can fall through the ceiling very easily and end up inside the house. And you don't want to do that. Okay, at this particular project, there was an existing attic fan already installed. It stopped working because it burnt up. So I also have to go into the attic just to see what the layout is and what the existing wiring is like. Okay, and so what I'm finding is some old wiring. It basically was adequate for what they were doing at the time, but it's not up to code and it's kind of sloppy. So we've got to take a look at that, see how the existing attic fan is being controlled by another thermostat that's up there, and just get the lay of the land so we know what we're up against. Okay, so what we have to do is remove the existing exhaust fan and the existing wiring, because I'm not going to use that anymore, and get ready to get some new wire installed. Okay, so at this point I want to just explain that if you don't have an existing attic fan, yes, you have to find a power supply, a power source for that fan. Attic fans are sized depending on the size of the house, the attic space that it's going to be ventilating that hot air out. So the bigger the fan, the bigger the circuit is that you're going to be having to provide for it. So in some cases, you're going to have a dedicated circuit that's going to be installed, and that's going to come from either a sub panel or the main panel. But sometimes if it's a small fan, and it's just a few amps, then all you have to do is find an existing junction box that may be up in the attic, or you might have to fish a wire down a wall to an existing outlet, maybe in the hallway. But that's what you want to do. You need to get a power source up there, and then you've got something to go ahead and wire from. If you wanted a switch to be installed in the hallway, then that's an additional wiring feature that you have to provide. Okay, so we're back out of the attic. I'm unboxing this new attic fan that I'll be installing. And what we're going to do is pre-wire it and get it ready to take back up. Okay, real fast we're going over the instructions. You see that we've got the mounting brackets that have to go on the outside of the housing of the fan. We want to do that outside of the attic. The more we can do down where it's cool, and the less parts we have to take up there that are loose with us, the better we're going to be. Okay, the mounting brackets are mounted, so now we're taking a look at the junction box, the wiring box on the exhaust fan. And we just have two wires and a grounding screw to attach there. And so we're going to take our wire into that and get that connected with wire nuts. Okay, I do want to add here too that we are putting a connector onto the junction box that's the wiring box that is there on the exhaust fan. It's a 2-screw connector to protect the type NM wire that's going into the fan. Okay, I also want to point out here that we're using the 12-2 type NM wire because we see that our existing circuit that is in the attic is 12 gauge wire. If it was 14, rated for 15 amps, that's what we would be matching, but in this case it's number 12 wire, which is good for 20 amps, and that's fine. Okay, I should point out that we already did remove the old existing exhaust fan, so we just got back up into the attic and started our install for the new exhaust fan, mounting to the gable there, and then getting our wire laid out and run over to the junction box. Okay, now we do see that there's some old wiring that we've got to clean up. Need to remake a couple of connections and get rid of the old thermostat and get the receptacle that the old fan was plugged into and all these things that are not needed. We just need to clean up the wiring and get the new wiring attached and installed to the junction box. Okay, this is where we get out our tools and get to work, make some of the new wiring connections and get everything cleaned up, get the new Romex wire attached to the junction box, and get everything stapled in place, stapling about every 3 feet, all the way back to the attic fan. Okay, and once everything is connected, we're going to be setting our thermostat setting, temperature setting for that attic fan to be turning on and off automatically, depending on the heat range in that area of wherever this house is located. You know, it's generally probably 80-90 degrees at least that you want to set it minimum for, because the attic can get way over 100 degrees up there, and so you want it to start exhausting and cooling that attic down before it reaches that high temperature. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot from it. Make sure that you don't work on live wires. Identify any circuit wiring that is existing and make sure to positively turn it off before you're doing any work on the wiring. Appreciate your thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. Also, make sure to come by and visit AskTheElectrician.com. Pick up your free ebook about top 10 electrical mistakes and how to avoid them. And subscribe to my newsletter. Love to have you as a subscriber. Thanks very much.